Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. In this video, dog holes have a lot of accessories, especially this armor tool bench right here. I've gone from storing them like this to something like this. And oh, is it glorious. Let me show you how we did it. Pretty handy stuff. Okay, but I will say one thing. There is one little issue with this bench, and that is full of holes. Now things can fall through, especially screws. Screws are probably the biggest offender in this regard, but I've come up with a really simple and easy way to help mitigate that problem, and here it is. Dude, but look how nice this is. It's so cool. It's like a little video within a video. All right, let's go build this thing right now. So I hope you enjoyed that little Paduke tray there. Of course, it looks like an everyday carry style tray, but I use it for screws. It turns out to be pretty nice. As you can see here, we've got a piece of laminate plywood. This is black laminate I got from my local dealer. I'm gonna round over each of these holes that we've carved on the CNC. Now, just because you do it on a CNC doesn't mean that you just set it and forget it. There is some work you still gotta do, especially by hand, by trimming things down. Bringing the piece over to the table saw, you can see at this corner here, the laminate does seem to chip a little bit on the edges, and we're gonna take care of that now on the table saw at a 45 degree. And so at this point, I've got a pocket hole jig here from Armor as well. We're gonna assemble this whole thing with pocket holes, and as you see here, I'm gonna give you some slow motion footage of something. Ooh, you see that? I've got some pretty powerful dust collection, and still, there's a bunch of chips that come out. And the reason for this is that I didn't reverse the direction of the drill. If you don't do that, you're gonna have a mess. All right, it's a little known tip, but I'm giving it to you here. So when you're doing pocket hole drilling, reverse the direction of your drill bit, and then you're gonna see something happen. Check this out. As you see some slow motion footage, like I said, watch this. You reverse the motion, all those chips then go back into the dust collector where they should. The drill bit is just strong enough to pull everything out if you don't reverse it. So, quick tip, there you go. So I'm using pocket holes in this fashion because nothing really sticks to laminate, not even glue. However, temporarily, I'm gonna use some of this CA glue from Starbond to give me a temporary clamp. The activator activates it within about 20 seconds. We have a pretty darn good hold on this. And the reason being is because if you don't clamp this in place, if you just try to do it by hand, this piece will shift on you when installing pocket holes. You can see here we're installing these and there is absolutely no movement whatsoever. However, I've cut down a few more strips of just standard plywood, and I've got some clamps involved with this one because I'm actually putting pocket holes in the left, right, and down and below. And so it just makes sense to go ahead and clamp everything flush. All right, now it's time to go on and install some French cleats on this bad boy. And honestly, I haven't made a French cleat anything in a long time. Feels pretty good to get back into the swing. But I've only got a few pieces of 45 degree angle stock cut at the moment, so I'm gonna use them sparingly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these pieces down. I'm gonna come over here and install them with a little glue and little brads. I did end up coming back here and using some flush trim screws as well. But the bottom pieces, you don't need glue. You just need to tack them in place. They're basically just gonna keep the cleat up flush against the wall. So here's how I install a French cleat. Basically, on the cleat that's gonna go on the wall, I make 2 holes with a marking gauge, as you saw. I then turn the thing around and recess it with a countersink bit just like this. I then use a brad nailer to tack it in place. 1 brad nail is all you need to begin, then level it with a level. Then tack in place in between each of the screw holes. That's gonna act as a clamp because you're not gonna pre-drill the wall. The brad's gonna hold it in place while you install the screws just like that, and you are good to go. Check this out. Looking good, and now it's time to load it up. You can see here I got a variety of things that I use on this dog hole bench, and I need a place to put them. That was the whole point of this video. The reason that there are holes on the side as well, and they're staggered from the ones on the front, is because some pieces are fairly long, and this piece is only 5-inch deep. So put them on the side, you got much more of a depth you can put things in. And now this is this project complete. This thing has turned out fantastic. I've been using it left and right in my workflow, and I'm so glad I made this thing. Really cool solution. Okay, so before I wrap this up, I'm gonna tell you about why it is I chose to put a company's name and logo on the back of my shop, pretty much where every shot is gonna be. It's because of relationships in this space. Now, Armor Tool and I, we go back to about the second Workbench Con 3 years ago in February of 2019? No, 2018. I got to meet the Pool family, the guys that started this, and they were like, hey, we've seen a couple of your videos. I only had maybe 15,000 subscribers at the time, and they took a gamble. They were like, you know what, we like what you're doing, and we're gonna send you some stuff. That was it. I got this workbench, and I got the pocket hole jig, and I just started using it, and I found that this stuff is really handy. This Armor Tool workbench has become pretty much my go-to workbench in this shop, and to tell you the truth, these companies aren't huge, right? They're not. This is not Johnson & Johnson. This is not Procter & Gamble, right? These are guys hustling, trying to live the American dream, what we call here in the States, and they are trying to hang their shingle on an idea that's a product or service that is gonna better not only them and their situation, but the other people that they're presenting it to. And so I'm just paying it forward. So I'm gonna link Armor down below. This isn't sponsored by them, but it's the least I could do because over the course of the past few years, we've kind of budded a relationship a little bit, and I really appreciate their support here and what they do. And I just believe in their products too. And there is something to be said about that as a content creator. Yes, I did get this free of charge. They sent me the stuff. I have never received any like true money from them. And maybe I'm just letting too much information go, but I don't think so. I think there's a lot of young people, a lot of people getting into this space who are where I was 4.5 years ago thinking, how am I going to do this? Will I ever get the play button, right? And honestly, you really don't think it's going to happen until you just keep putting one foot in front of the next, and then it does. And that's the goal, right? That's what we're doing here at A Glimpse Inside, and that's what those guys are doing in Armor. They're just trying to put one foot in front of the next to come up with something that is desirable for people to consume. All right, that's the goal. Thank you so much for listening. A little bit long-winded at the end of this one, but that's okay because, hey, you guys are awesome. All right, my name's Chris. This has been A Glimpse Inside. A pretty simple process, but man, this is going to help my workflow. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.